that's starting back up again. Let me check my shit. I don't know why it does that. Why he puts trigger in there. I gotta look that up. I don't know why I keep triggering that. Yeah, I'll find out. What's up, GC? What's going on, bro? Yeah, those are old. I don't know why it's repeating. Anybody who used the Streamlabs, let me know why. Let me know why it does that. These are old donations. I don't know why it's repeating itself. That happened yesterday. I don't know why it's doing that. That happened yesterday too. Well, not yesterday, 2 days ago. What's up, Moses? What's going on? Yeah, I'm just cleaning. I'll be starting the Tekken 7 stream in a bit. Just waiting for you guys to show up, and plus I'm cleaning off my PS4 arcade stick. I haven't played I haven't used my arcade stick on consoles in a long time because, you know, I've been playing a lot of fighting games lately on the PC. I don't have Tekken 7 yet. Because I gotta buy the game again, then I gotta get the DLC characters, and I don't feel like spending that money right now. So I was gonna play my Tekken 7 on my PS5. That's what I'm gonna do instead. As I promised, I was doing Tekken. I said I was gonna do Tekken 7 this week, so that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm just cleaning off my Obsidian arcade stick. I gotta get back into some Grand Blue Fantasy as well. Gotta definitely get into all that. I think I got reinstalled. I forgot I got the PS5, so I gotta install the game again. But I gotta do that. That's I gotta reinstall that. Oh, I gotta take the Final Fantasy 7 remake out first. Out of the I gotta take that out of the box first. Alright. Oh yeah. I got it. I'll go. Game first. So when did they release the DLC for Final Fantasy 7 Remake? In June. I think June. I can't remember, like June 11th. I think. Yeah, I think it's June 11th. I think, if I can remember. It's the day before my dad's birthday. What's up, boy, yo? Yeah, I'm just waiting for everybody to stop through before I start, and I had to clean off my arcade stick, so I don't have it for the I don't have Tekken 7 for the PC, so. Yeah, I don't have Tekken 7 for the PC, so I'm playing it on my PS5. So I'm going to reinstall the game, since I haven't played this game in like a year. So I have to install it on my PS5. Yeah, so he said he said you get to rage quit the game as a whole. Dog, Tekken is a whole nother beast when it comes to fighting games. Like, I have a hard time playing Tekken, and I have a hard time playing like anime fighters, like, you know, with the like Guilty Gear and Blaze Blue and stuff like that, Dragon Ball Fighters. Those are the hardest fighting games for me to actually learn how to play. Like, I get my ass beat in those games like crazy. And the thing about Tekken, like, the way the game is, the characters got so many different moves, and I don't even know which moves is necessary and what moves that I should just discard and never use, because Tekken characters have a big move set, you know. And then it's the combination, the combos. Trying to remember the combos. That's why I can only learn like one character. Trying to learn two characters that's just too much. That's like a college course for me when it comes to Tekken, man. Like, I just can't do it. And I think Tekken is another type of fighter where I have to, if I stop playing the game, I will forget everything that I was currently learning. That I was currently learning, so I had to start all over again, like that muscle memory. Yo, what's up, Ryu? What's up, Derpy? So yeah, right now the game it has to install and stuff on the PS5, and then we'll get started. Yeah, like Tekken really gets me, man. And I use Julia. And what's the other chick I was trying to learn? Jolie, I think her name. Can't remember if that's her name. Can't remember her name. And Asuka. And I started with Brian I used in Tekken 7 time, Dirt. Yeah, Brian. I used Brian in Tekken 3 because Brian was my character. I picked him because his name is Brian. He had my name. I like using Brian. I used Brian in Tekken 3, Tekken Tag 1, and Tekken 6, I think. I don't have none of the DLC character. Well, I don't have Kunimitsu. I haven't spent much. I only got Julia because I wanted Julia because that's my main, and have Geese Howard because I really wanted to try Geese Howard. But other than that, I don't really have the rest of the DLC characters. I haven't really spent the dime. This is the only fighter where I only spent money on the characters that I want, that I know I'm going to use. I haven't did that because I knew I wasn't going to invest enough time in Tekken compared to the other fighters that do play. That's why I said I'm not going to drop a bunch of cash on this because I knew for a fact I'm not going to keep playing. I'm not going to play Tekken like I play the other fighting games. Not because I don't like Tekken. I just know that I'm just not good at Tekken. So I know I'm gonna spend less time. Get out of here, Nate. I love DOA. I love me some DOA. I love me some DOA. I definitely like to do some DOA on like a week of DOA 6. Hopefully, if anybody is online. But yeah, this is Tekken 7 week. We're gonna be doing that. I forgot what his voice was like. Like I said, like I'm not that deep into Tekken, like to know if they changed voices and all that other type of stuff. So you got me on that one. I love me some DOA, man. Hopefully they come back and respect that game with with a DOA 7 because they really fucked up Dead or Alive 6, man. They took out the tag features, all that other stuff. Oh yeah, yeah. Miles was destroying Forrest Guard. He was destroying Nate. Nate was getting destroyed. Nate came over my house, and it was me. It was me, Nate, my cousin Miles, and it was my pops. We playing Dead or Alive on the Xbox 360. That was Dead or Alive 4. Dead or Alive 4 on the Xbox 360, and what happened was we played the tag team mode. And Nate was on my pop's team, and I was on my cousin Miles' team. And my cousin Miles was just trolling Nate. He'll let Nate beat him down to like a tip of health, and say, "Come on, Nate, you can do it. You can beat me." And then my cousin Miles would just destroy him with a little bit of health. He used to just troll. I never seen my homie Nate like so frustrated when it came to a game. Cause he's a chill dude. I never really see him get frustrated. That was the first time I ever saw my homie frustrated. Never seen my man frustrated over that. Or never saw my homie frustrated over that, man. My man was frustrated, dog. Like that, my homie was frustrated. It was hilarious. Yeah, they took out everything with. I don't know why. And the thing is, not Tekken, Dead or Alive, right? Dead or Alive was the fighting game that always pushed the boundaries when it came to graphics for fighting games. Like if you wanted to see how beautiful a fighting game can get, Dead or Alive was that title. Was that fighting game title for 3D fighters. Dead or Alive was always a beautiful looking game, beautiful environment, beautiful character models, everything. And it like they just went a step backwards. It's like they didn't really upgrade Tekken. They didn't really upgrade Dead or Alive 6. It didn't look that much different from Dead or Alive 5. They really went a step backwards. That's the thing that really disappointed me, man. And it was so bare bones. So bare bones. So we're gonna get this started in a second. So I'm gonna hit the lab. I'm not gonna do any rank matches yet or anything. I'm gonna spend some time in the lab first because I remember this damn game. See, they did it because they're going for T. And the thing is, like, a lot of people in the FGC don't look at Dead or Alive as a real fighting game, which is fucking stupid because it is a fighting game. Yeah, the girls are hot and Dead or Alive, but the girls being hot wasn't the draw to the game for me. Because my first Dead or Alive game was on the Dreamcast, Dead or Alive 2. You know what drew me to the game? One, I never seen graphics as good as Dead or Alive 2 at the time. Two, it was the first fighting game to where you're able to knock your opponent through windows, knock them down staircases. And I've never seen that in a fighting game. I thought it was awesome. And it used to have this dynamic camera. Especially on Dead or Alive 2, when you fight on top of the temple, you kick them, and then the camera zooms back, and you just see them fall down, and you see your character jump down after the character. I thought it was so epic. I thought it was so badass. That's the first thing. I remember walking in the electronic boutique. The moment I walked in, I seen, you know how they have the the station hooked up with the console. I walked in, I seen two guys playing the game. The first thing I seen was somebody coming through a window in the game. I was like, yo, what the hell is that? I said, yo, this game looked epic. And my dad always ran over to it to go look at it. And I'm like, yo, this game is dope. So it wasn't the girls. I mean, the girls were like a bonus, the girls being hot, but that wears off after a while. They're like, it boils down if the game is good or not. And that's what Dead or Alive is to me. So people who don't play Dead or Alive, yo, what's up, Chris? So people who don't play Dead or Alive, they just see a bunch of sexy looking girls, boobs, boob physics, and ass everywhere, and they just judge the game and judge the player base and the community based off the chicks that they see on the screen, and never play the game, never bother to play the game or like that. Don't know how great the mechanics are and how much depth is added to this game. I love Dead or Alive, man. Yeah, throwing people off glaciers, everything. I'm like, yo, I never saw that in a fighting game before, and that sold me as a fan. Not the hot babes. That was an afterthought for me. And then I found out it was a 4-player. When we found out it was a 4-player on Dreamcast, I said, yo, game night gonna be lit, because we love multiplayer games. And now you got it in the form of a fighter, 4 controllers, and you can tag in and out. Sign us up. And we love Dead or Alive, man. And we've been following Dead or Alive consistently. But the crew, our game night crew, we stopped doing Dead or Alive after 4 on 360. But I picked it up once 5 came out, and then I continued with it. But everybody else moved on to other things and stuff. But I loved Dead or Alive, man. I loved it. Can't. Alright, so 1 second. Gotta put my camera. Alright. Oh no, I'm playing we doing some Tekken. We were just talking about Dead or Alive. All right. Oh. That was. I forgot that. There we go. Yep. There we go. Oh, it's still copying, so I'm gonna have to wait. Alright, get it back to focus. There we go. So, yeah. Angel Eyes was Tecmo's first fighting game before They're Alive. But it was all an all-girl fighting game. How much did the Marvel vs. Capcom arcade machine I be seeing the back cost? Oh yeah, I'm gonna be doing a video on that. Once my brothers finish all these different shirts they're doing for companies, for the clients. I'm gonna do a whole video on it, but this arcade machine cost me 500 and was it 580? I think, or 530 or 540. Yeah, I have Dimensions, Dead or Alive Dimensions on the DS, the 3DS or what? Yeah, 3DS. I have that. Yeah, this arcade machine cost me 500. I think it's $540. This is a special edition from Arcade One Up. I'm gonna do a whole video on it. Yo, what's up, PJ? I'm gonna do a whole video on it to let you guys know where you can buy it and give you a review on it and stuff. I can tell you one thing. You can play it online. You can play it online with other players who have an arcade machine. Oh yeah. For what it is it's a good deal. These are emulated games that Arcade One Up had got a license for to do these things, and they're getting better and better with the cabinets. And like I said, it has online play, and guess what? Never experienced any lag with that. It's Wi-Fi. I'm not sure if they have rollback. I don't know what's going on with this arcade machine, but I never experienced any lag. It's like I'm actually sitting in a room playing with another player. Tomorrow's the big day for you tomorrow. What's that? Was your birthday or something, PJ? All right, we got 4 minutes before we finish installing. Yeah, but it's definitely been a while since I played Tekken. Do you like Virtual Fighter 2? I had Virtual Fighter 2 on Sega Saturn, and I had the first Virtual Fighter on the Sega 32X. They were okay. I heard they're the hardest 3D fighters to play though. Oh, your older characters are coming back to Phantasy Star 2? Okay, sweet. Phantasy Star Online 2? Dope, dope, dope. Yeah, I get my stimulus. I get my stimulus too, but I'm not spending it. I have. There's nothing for me to. There's no reason for me to even spend it. So I was gonna just go on my. It's just going in my bank account. It's just gonna just sit there like my last stimulus. My last stimulus. It just sat in my account. So I had 2 stimulus. Well, what's 3 now? Get it, the $600 too. Never spent that. I threw that in my account in my savings. And then this next stimulus, that's going in my savings. So 3 stimulus checks that I didn't even spend money on, spend any of it. It just stacked up. I mean Julia, Asuka, and I think that girl Jolie. I think she's pretty cool. I like to try her, but I'm not good at the game. Like I said, I haven't played this in like a year or whatever. So I promised. Yeah, like I promised everybody, there's gonna be a Tekken 7 week for me to stream. So, oh, what's up, Landon? Oh, we just started. I just turned the stream on. The game is installing right now. I have it on PS5. Well, I have it for the PS4, but I'm playing it on my PS5, and like most of my games I haven't even installed on my PS5, so I have to reinstall that. I was going to get it on the PC, because now I'm playing fighting games on the PC, but I ain't feel like repurchasing it. Then I had to purchase some of the DLC characters. I did not feel like going through all that for now. So I was like, fuck it. Just pop it in my PS5 and take it from there. Yeah, so today I'm going to be in a lab trying to figure this game out. All right, cool. All of mine came to my account. The first stimulus went directly to my bank account. The second one went straight to my bank account. You said, what kind of arcade stick is this? This is the Obsidian arcade stick. It's another one of those tournament edition sticks. I did a review on it. You can. Oops. No, what did I do? Oh my god, I wasn't trying to. It wasn't finished installing. I hit continue. Oh my god, wait, hold up, guys. I gotta exit out the game. I pressed the button by accident while it was telling me if I wanted to continue without updating. No, I have to update. Yeah. So back to what I was saying. No, that was my fault, man. It's not your bad. Don't say my bad. It's not your fault. Yeah, so this is the Obsidian arcade stick. If you want to see my full review, just go to my channel, type in Obsidian tournament arcade stick review unboxing. Yeah, I did it by accident. What's up, Dan? Yeah, so the Obsidian arcade stick has a PS4 switch, a PS3 switch, and it has a PC switch, so it can work for all 3 platforms. It also has a switch to where you don't mistakenly press the pause button and pause the game. So if you put the lock on it, it won't pause the game. You have to hold the pause button. You have to hold the pause button in order to pause the game. That's what I like about this too. It also lights up. To give you an example, you see the light? When you press the button, it lights up, which I think is pretty dope. It lights up. You said a save that cannot be read. To save this data, please download content again from the PlayStation Store. What? This save data requires downloadable content that cannot be read. To save this data, please download the content again from the PlayStation Store. Alright, I gotta go to the PlayStation Store. God damn it. Like, yo, this is so... Why it's so difficult? I got DLC. I got the some of the DLC characters. The ones I wanted to play. My girl Julia and shit. So... Now I gotta find Tekken 7 at the store before I can even start this damn thing. Yo, this Tekken 7 story mode was trash. So I download Julia again. I had knocked this? What? I must have bought the first season pass or something. I didn't know I had damn knocked this. Yo, what's up, Unlimited Blade? What's going on? Oh, no problem, Guardian. No problem. Like I said, if y'all got questions, man, you know, feel free to ask me, man. Don't be scared to ask me any type of question. I'm not a snowflake. Don't think you'll offend me. I don't care what kind of question it is. If it's in my ability, if I can answer it, I'll answer it. If I can't, I'll tell you I can't answer it. But, alright. Making sure I ain't missing any other character. Okay. I'm gonna get Kuni Mitsu too, cause I want to try her. Alright, actually I have four guys who wants me to play Tekken 7. There's maybe 3 characters I would like to play, but I don't know. The game requires some investment. Yeah, this game requires some investment. Oh, thanks, Chris. Thanks. Who said, what's my thoughts on the King of Fighters 15 trailer so far? Oh yeah, if you missed the stream that I had, I gave my opinion about it. At first I wasn't impressed, and like with the graphics, I'm warming up to it, but it still look outdated as far as how the game looks, because we stepping into next gen. First I wasn't really impressed with it, but after Kyo came out, when Team Hidden Treasure or Hidden Secrets, whatever that team is called, because I'm not really too familiar with KOF like that. When they were revealed, it got me pretty excited for it. And then when they announced that rollback netcode is coming for KOF 15, I'm definitely on board now, because KOF 14 netcode was trash. And so I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna even invest in it, because it was like the netcode was horrible, and then plus I got the game so late, there was nobody online to play the damn game. So the community died. The online community died because of that. But then the most recent trailer, Andy Bogart looks dope. They really did good jobs with the character models and stuff. Then what definitely got me excited too was Yuri. Like they designed the hell out of her. She's very expressive. Like, she is so adorable. She is so cute. I like how they designed her. She has a lot of expression. She seemed like she got more expression than most of the cast right now that they revealed in 15. And she looked more like she has more expression than Street Fighter 5 characters. I like how, like, that character, they gave her so much expression. So yeah, I'm looking forward to King of Fighters 15 now. So you got to finesse. The team is actually a hint that certain boss is coming back. Yeah, I know, because of the that team. All right, so it should be ready. It's ready now. So I downloaded the characters. I gotta download Ratchet and Clank because it's like free when I get a chance. All right. What the hell did I just do? What did I just do? Oh. Alright. Alright, get this focus on. Yeah, so I don't know, like, yeah, so I'm gonna hit the lab. Is that cooler with your main? Doo 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 doo. There's my waifu, Julia. Julia Chang. Doo 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 doo. So I get right back into this game again. That's one thing, man. Like Tekken, like if you're not good at Tekken and you still a beginner, you really gotta get into it in order to even get the hang of this game. So I gotta go through everything again. Punishment training. Oh, interesting. But let's go through the move list. Alright, that's what we're gonna do. That's what we want to do. We're gonna go through this move list again, so I can see what does what. That one, square, square. Square, square, triangle. Alright, we got here square, triangle, square, square. Alright, so we want to let's try to get this in my head first. see what else we got here. Square, triangle, X. Yeah, square, triangle, circle. Oh. Does that continue off into something else? Alright. Gotta get my muscle memory. Keep doing drills to at least remember this stuff before I head out on the line. Okay. Okay, let's see what else. One hit from the front. All right, I remember this. All right. Alright. That's dope. Doing spin behind. Oh! This Doran, that's right. Alright. Oh, okay. Alright, let's see. Circle, circle, square. There we go. That's, you gotta get those moves that lifts up. Alright, oh, okay. So it's two different ones. Two different versions. Alright, so let's go. Let's put the CPU on real quick so I can get used to what I learned, what I've looked at on the command list. Okay, that's a move. Okay. Oh! What's that? Oh, I gotta find out what that does. Oh! Um, let me see. Okay. That's what that is. Okay. Okay. Bam, get that armor. Okay. Let's take that back. Let's go back to stand. No, was it random guard? Alright, let's go back to the basics again. Alright, got that. Oh, okay. Will I ever use that? Yo, what's up, Ike? What's going on? Oh, yeah, I'm in the lab playing some Tekken 7. Trying to get the hang of things. So this week is Tekken 7 week for the live stream. Oh yeah, I forgot. Right now I'm training first. We'll probably play tonight. Not sure. I gotta get back in the groove and try to figure all this stuff out again. That's what I normally do when I start a fighting game again with the streams and stuff. Gotta get back into the lab first before I can be able to do anything. Yeah, the 18th of this. I think it's the 18th. Yeah, in 3 days, Square Enix is having a live event. They have Square Enix now got their own direct, like how Nintendo got their direct and Sony got their direct and stuff like that, and Microsoft. Now Square Enix got their own now. So I think at 1 p.m. there's going to be a live stream for that. Nintendo. Square gonna be revealing a few things. So I'm going to be live streaming. Is she sweating? The character's actually sweating this? I don't remember her being her skin being this wet just now. Is she literally sweating? Oh, yeah, so we'll be I'll be live streaming that so you can see what reveals they're gonna have and stuff. And then Sony's supposed to have a 1 hour event coming soon too, or something like that. And then Microsoft supposed to have a big event coming up. So I'm gonna be live streaming a lot of that coming up. So hope you guys would tune in for that. Definitely give you guys my opinion. Me, my brother, both my brothers and my dad, we're gonna be checking it out. So hope y'all stop through. Oh crap. Circle, circle. I can just hold down for that. So I can do the triple kick. So I can go low. So I can essentially just mix it up then, huh? Just waiting for Strive, that is all. Of course you are. Other than Bloodstain too. Of course you are. You said you want to see me play low tier guy in Tekken? Like, low tier guy, he's not bad at fighting games. He'll be able to beat me in Tekken, for sure. Smash Brothers not Smash Brothers, but Tekken. Like I said, I don't play Tekken. Like, I do not play Tekken, so like I'm scrub level Tekken player. Like I'm like very noob level, so he'll be able to beat me. So I remember that. So this is one on the ground. War drum. How does that work? Oh. Let's see what that look like. Kind of preview. Let's preview that. How does that? I don't. You have to press it fast. That's why I don't get it. Oh. But it grabs. I don't get it. But so you gotta do it like quick. I hate why Tekken gotta be so damn difficult. I don't like that. Because you gotta, it's like you gotta pretty much be, see, then I grab. That's confusing as hell. Okay. I think I'm getting it. Buffalo retreat, son. Oh, nice. Okay. Yo, what's up, Blackheart? What's going on? Here in the lab with some Tekken 7 with my waifu, Julia. Okay, that's something. Yeah, like I was just getting up from my nap. I was tired. I went to my dad hit me up, was like, "Yo, son, you wanna go to the gym with me?" So I went to the gym with my pops. Went to go lift some weights and do some sit-ups, some push-ups and stuff like that. So doing some weightlifting. I'm going back to the gym with my pops tomorrow again, and just keep working out on my chest and my arms and stuff like that. So I'm always putting a lot of work into my legs. So definitely I get some definition back in my chest and everything, in my stomach, my arms. It's getting warm outside. It's feeling good out there. Alright. So remember the Buffalo Retreat is this. Buffalo Charge. Oh, whoa, oh. I like that. So many moves, man. So many freaking moves. Come on, make your move. Alright, so I'm gonna do arcade mode and utilize what I learned and then come back to the lab and learn some more stuff. That's how I'm able to, that's the only way I'm able to get used to this. Yo, you fucking Kazuya up.
Welcome to the King of Julia Chang.
Welcome to the King of Brian Fist. Yo, what's up, Shadow? What's up? What's up, Baka? Why is it saying that I'm playing? Damn, it's why is it saying I'm playing Resident Evil 0? Oh, you talking about on Twitch? Oh, cause I haven't went into, cause I keep forgetting Restream Restream doesn't change even when I change the game, it doesn't change it. I have to go into Twitch itself and change it. But the title should say Tekken 7 though.
Round 2. Fight.
Yeah, I just want to change the game. The title should say Tekken, but if it has the game underneath it saying Resident Evil, I have to go in there and change that part. Yeah. So how you been? How you been, Shadow? How you been, Baka?
Round 1. Fight.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I'm learning the game myself. Oh, what was that? Wait, hold up. Okay.
KO. Round 2. Fight.
There we go. Get ready for the next battle. Yeah, I'm gonna hit the bed early tonight. I'm not gonna stay up too. I'm not gonna push it too late this time. Gotta get my sleep. So this stream won't be too long tonight. And it's the weekday too. So I am tired. Even though I took my nap, I'm still sleepy. Because I ain't go to bed for the past 2 days. Like Like real late.
Round 2. Fight.
Thank you, spirits.
What's up, Rudy? He said, in what way would you want a game abilities level to experience? Can you rephrase that? He said, in what way would you want a game abilities level to experience? Tekken was always silly with their intros. That made no sense.
Round 1. Fight.
There we go.
Round 2.
Okay.
Fight.
What character are you learning? Arcade mode in short. Yeah. I'm doing arcade mode, and I'm in the lab. I'm trying to learn this game. So whatever stuff I learn in the lab, I take it to arcade mode, fighting the CPU. Then go back to the lab, learn some more things. Once I feel confident, like okay, then I'll start playing online, start playing you guys. To learn from there after that. Once I feel as though I learned something, you know. I don't like playing games or that use EX to gain power. Oh, Eliza. Or that uses X to gain. I have no idea.
Round 1. Fight.
Yeah, Eliza seems interesting, but she has some weird mechanics to her. Oh, it had armor on it. I didn't know that. I'm getting used to her moveset and input so quick. Good. This chick. She about to go crazy.
Round 2. Fight.
Yeah, Tekken 7 story mode was so cheap, yo. We had to fight Double Kazuya. Oh my god, I hate it. It was so cheap. I'm getting destroyed right now. Oh yeah, I remember that. Okay.
Final round. Fight.
Get the hell out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. Yo, yeah, I beat on normal. Like, yo, that story mode was cheap as hell, dog. Like I wanted to, I was almost like LTG, like with the rage. Like that story mode was ridiculously hard for nothing. The last, like fighting Del Kazuya was stupid. He was like stupid broken for nothing. It's like they made him hard for the sake of being hard. That super armor, everything. I do want to play probably next week. I want to do what's the name of that damn game? I already forgot. Oh yeah, Grand Blue Fantasy Versus. I may do that next week. If not, I may do Under Night in Birth. Not sure yet. I may do that. I may do that.
Julia Chan. Gigas. Get ready for the next battle.
So sleepy. I gotta cook dinner. Maybe that's it too. I got no energy. I gotta eat something. Yeah, whole nother level. Definitely agree with that. Mizu. I'm not using Kuni yet. Kunimitsu. Right now, I'm using Julia. I gotta learn a character at a time. I gotta use my waifu first. Grand Blue. Yeah. What about? Why you say that? Why you say it like that, Baz? Oh, oh yeah. I forgot. I, I hate some people are obsessed with sex to the point that they refuse to think what you wish for might not be what you want and still force it on others. He said, I hate people who I hate that some people are obsessed with sex to the point that they refuse to think what you wish for may not be what you want and still force it on others. Want to become oh yeah. I hear you. He said I don't play the game like that, don't worry. Oh, I'm not worried, Baz. I hear you, Black Cart. That's the thing. That's the thing too when it comes to, you know, desiring something so bad. You know what I'm saying? Just because you desire something, no matter what it is, whether it's like sex or anything, or interest in the person or whatever, just because you desire it doesn't mean it's good for you. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean it's good. Doesn't mean it's good for you at all. You know, a lot of us fall victim to our flesh. Our flesh gets us in trouble. A lot of us fall victim to our hearts. We think with our hearts at times. We put our hearts out there, and we expose our hearts, and that's how our hearts end up getting crushed, end up getting hurt. Yo, what's up, Raph? So, like I said, that was a good thing. That was something that was good. You brought that up. True, Blackheart. Yeah, we oftentimes as human beings, men, women, doesn't matter. We all fall victim to our flesh. We all fall victim to putting our hearts out there. And just because you want something bad doesn't mean it's good for you. Yeah, take care of that bot. Thanks, Shadow. Yeah, just because you want it and desire it doesn't mean necessarily means it's always good for you. It was this. I liked it. It was this. I had bought the Wonder Woman cartoon movie that came out back in 2000. I think it was 2015, 2016. Really good. One of the best. Like, the Wonder Woman movie should have followed that animated film. Oh, you're not a mod? I got to make you a. I have to make. Yeah, Shadow. I'm about to make you a mod, bro. For Twitch. How does that work? Derpy's the only mod that I have. I'm gonna get back to I'm gonna get back to the discussion in a second, because that was a good thing you brought up. Shadow. No, Blackheart. One second. I'm gonna get back to the discussion in a second. That was a good thing you brought up. Turn this off. Turn this off. Turn this off. Brought up, Shadow. No, Blackheart. One second. All right, one second. How do? I gotta find out how to make you a mod. Just click on my name and it should say add mod. Excuse me, guys. Sorry about that. No, it's asked me to customize my profile. What the hell? Alright, I clicked on your name. All it has is custom. Alright. All it has is gift sub, cancel request, and whisper. And what's this? Yeah, I don't see mod on here. I click. Thanks, Shadow. Chat settings. Show mod icon. Chat appearance. Polls. Yeah, I don't see the mod option on here. Oh, slash mod and then your name. Okay, yo, look, you can tell. Slash mod. Shadow. All right, I gave you mod privileges now. Yeah. I make Julia as Tifa. Yeah, I've seen people do that too. Alright, so yeah, Cross is now, he's a moderator. He's a mod on Twitch. Derpy's a mod on YouTube. Anybody else who want mod responsibilities on YouTube as well? At least, I don't really have a big crowd yet, but I think probably like 2 or 3 mods for YouTube for now will be great. I only need 1 mod for, well, Derpy's a mod too, I think, on Twitch as well. So we got Shadow Cross as well. Alright, so back to the question. Back to what you were saying. Back to what I was saying when you was mentioning about that. About, sometimes, people desire or obsess over sex or whatever they obsess over, and they force it on others, and just because, you desire or want it doesn't mean it's necessarily good for you. So to go back to what I was saying, 2015 there was a Wonder Woman animated film. Was a Wonder Woman animated film. You said if you're still on, I'll come back. Okay. All right. Unlimited Blade. So This is one of the best Wonder Woman animated films. I love Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman's awesome. Like I said, it's more to how she's dressed and how she's looking, how sexy she looks and stuff. Wonder Woman is a badass female character, especially in the DC comics or whatever. Like, if there was an alien invasion or an invasion of whatever fucking villains or whatever that would come to this planet, and I had to choose who I want to fight by my side, I'm bringing Wonder Woman with me. She is a ride or die chick. That chick, she's a brawler. She goes down. She will go down with you. That's a chick. That's a character. I don't care. Like, out of every other character, Wonder Woman would be one of the characters I'm bringing with me if there was an invasion of metahumans. Wonder Woman would be one of the characters coming with me. But anyway, back to my point. I bought this. I want you guys to go look for it. It's an animated film of Wonder Woman, 2015, the best animated Wonder Woman film ever made. The best. I still watch it to this day. My daughter loves it. She used to rerun that film over and over again. And it's crazy how the DCEU, the DC universe for the movies don't follow none of the animated films as a blueprint, as a story outline. Because that's the best interpretation of Wonder Woman. But anyway, there was a point. There was one part in the they gave you the backstory about the Amazons and stuff like that. Wonder Woman's mom had went to war with Ares. It also tells you about female nature. Ares and the Amazons, I mean, they was going to war with this man. I mean, this man's getting powerful. He enslaved these women and stuff like that. So Wonder Woman's mom ended up fighting him. Then not only did she defeated him, not only did she defeated Ares, she ended up fucking him. At the end of all that, all the evil that this man did, she ended up fucking him. Wonder Woman mom ended up fucking Ares. Ended up fucking him. This dude was the most evilest man in the world. Fought this man and everything, and at the end of the day, she still ended up letting this dude hit. That says a lot. Well, anyway, she ended up having a kid. She wound up having Ares' kid. Ares' kid, as punishment, because she hated Ares so much, even though she fucked him, she hated him so much, she ended up banishing his son. And Ares wanted his son. That's his son. But she ended up banishing him. He wound up going to Hades, to the underworld, his son. So Ares' whole objective throughout the whole entire movie, he wanted to revive his son. He wanted to bring his son back from Hades and whatever like that. So what happened was, Wonder Woman's mom ended up being successful. Ended up beating Ares. This is like the backstory. She ended up beating Ares and ended up taking him to Themyscira, where all the Amazons live at, and they locked him into prison. He cannot get out. Ever since then, they couldn't trust men. They had this thing against men and stuff like that, right? So throughout the entire throughout their entire teachings to the Amazons, they was taught that, how men start wars, all this other type of stuff like that, right? So they banished men from the island. Men couldn't come to the island. So a lot of the Amazon women who grew up there, they never saw men, never have any interaction with men. And the women who used to have interaction with men, because of this whole new teaching and this whole ideology, no longer have any type of connection with men anymore. So now men is no longer able to come to the island. But Ares is the only man on the island because he's in the prison. And they have the Amazonians guards to watch over this prison. Now, Wonder Woman mom wanted a child so bad. So Hera had granted her a child. So Wonder Woman's mom had went to the beach of Themyscira and went to the beach and took the sand and created like a clay sculpture of a baby. Then she put the clay sculpture into the air, and Hera gave the sculpture life, and that's how Wonder Woman was born. Because remember, there's no men, so they can't fuck, they can't breed, they can't procreate. So the only way that she was able to be blessed with a child, she had to create it from the earth itself, and then Hera gave it life. So what happened was, time goes on. Now Wonder Woman has no idea that she was created from Hera, like from the sand, from the dirt and stuff like that. She didn't have a natural birth or whatever, and she was always special or whatever. So anyway, as time go along, Wonder Woman's best friend, who's also a scholar, they grew up together. She reads a ton of books and everything like that. Now, it's this warrior chick who's Wonder Woman's Wonder Woman's mom right hand chick. Like she's a ride or die chick for Wonder Woman's mom. She had to watch the prison where Ares is at. Now, this is where I bring it to the point that I'm trying to say, because there's a lot of women that's there. Even though they're taught to hate men, they can't desire men and all this other type of stuff. They still want, some of them still in the back of their mind want some type of interaction with men or whatever. So what happened was, Ares, since he's the only man there, he was spitting game to some of the chicks that was there or whatever like that. But none of the chicks would fall for it, because they know that this dude is evil and shit like that. So Wonder Woman's best friend, the scholar chick, went there to it was her turn to guard watch Ares inside the prison. So he's trying to spit game to her, and she's not falling for it, because she said, I know the rules, I know what type of man you are, I'm not letting you out, you can't convince me that. So Wonder Woman's mom, right hand chick, shows up. Right hand chick shows up, and she shows up and said, "All right, it's my turn for guard duty. I watch Ares," or like that. She's like, "Are you sure? You kind of early." Like, "Are you sure?" He said, "Yeah, the queen said, it's my shift." She said, "Okay," or whatever. But she's starting to second guess it. She turns around. The Wonder Woman's mom, right hand chick, stabbed the young June. Stabbed her right in her damn stomach and shit like that. And the young June said, "Yo, like, what's going on? What are you doing?" She opened the cage up and let Ares out. And she was like, and this is what she said to the young June: the heart wants what the heart wants, even if it's bad for you. And then the chick kissed Ares. So she's basically telling her, "Yo, I know this man is evil, but she haven't had a man in so long because of the rules that's on Themyscira. Because she's used to being around men, because she was one of the warriors. She was used to being around men. So now this whole new rule, you know what I'm saying, where men are no longer allowed, or men is banish, or men is evil and stuff like that. Some of those women wasn't really down with that. So some of these women, they are women. It shows that the women still desire men just as well as men desire women. So that really had me like, damn. She was like, the heart wants what the heart wants, even if it's bad for you. And just like you said, Blackheart, there's a lot of people that obsess over love, obsess over sex, obsess over a person, and this person may be bad for them. It may not be good for them, and they try to force themselves on that individual, and just because the heart wants it doesn't mean that it's good for you. And when she said that, I was like, yo, that's some deep shit. She's wanting to kill her own Amazonian sister for this man, knowing that this man is evil, knowing this man is going to bring destruction to the world if she let this motherfucker out. But she did it anyway because that's what her heart wanted. She wanted the man. That was some deep shit, man. There we go. I was wondering what comes after that. Now, remember some of this stuff a bit. I just gotta learn. I learned juggles. That's what I definitely need to learn. Yo, what's up, Radio? What's going on, bro? How you feeling? You good? Practicing some Tekken 7 tonight. Tonight it's just labbing right now until I'm confident enough to go online, confident to start some lobbies up and stuff. Tekken 7, I was never ever good at Tekken. Tekken, period. Oh, it's another one. Ah, interesting. Yeah, this week is Tekken week. Nah, get the focus back. There we go. Yeah, this week is Tekken week. Oh, you just got off Tekken 7? Yeah, this week is Tekken week. So tonight I'm gonna just lab and just chill and talk with you guys while I lab, and then tomorrow I'll probably I'll hop in online, play some ranked matches, and then Wednesday I'll lobby it up with you guys. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do here, and then after Wednesday we'll just do lobbies with you guys and play. So I'm not sure next week's game. I think it may be either Grand Blue Fantasy Versus or maybe Under Night in Birth. Not sure yet for next week's fighting game, the live stream. Or it could be Dead or Alive 6, not sure. Oh, what's up, Maru? He said I always loved the Tekken franchise, but was Major League trash. Didn't stop me from playing though. Yeah, like I said, Tekken was revolutionary. Very revolutionary. If it wasn't for Virtual Fighter started all these 3D fighters. It's the father of all 3D fighters. All the creators of every 3D fighting game always says it. Virtual Fighter was their inspiration. Especially Dead or Alive. Dead or Alive literally said their engine is pretty much was Virtual Fighters. Oh yeah, BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle. People still play that? Is that game still alive? I don't mind playing BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle. But the question is everybody, does that game have any legs? Is it still alive? Yeah, but when it comes to Tekken, man, I love Tekken. The first time I ever saw Tekken was when I was a young boy, and PlayStation wasn't out yet. PlayStation was on its way coming out, actually, because we got PlayStation when it first came out on launch in 1990. It was 1995 when it launched. We still have the very first PlayStation that launched. We still have it. I don't have BlazBlue. I have BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle, but I don't have. Yeah. Remember last year we did a whole stream. Was it last year? I think it was last year. We did a whole BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle stream, and it was fun for a minute too. But yeah. So about to say, yeah. So I remember we was at the first time I saw Tekken for the very first time was when we was with my parents our family, our entire family. We had a vacation. It's my parents, my uncles, my aunts, our grandparents. We all went on this big family vacation down Virginia. We went to stay at the Virginia Beach and then go to the boardwalk and everything. So I remember after our vacation, the last day of our trip, when we came back from King's Dominion theme park, we was on our way back home, going back to Philly. And how you know we're closer to getting back to Philly, we always go to the Merlin rest stop. Because at the Merlin rest stop, you're like an hour and a half or 2 hours away from Philly. So we used to go to the rest stop and get some food or whatever like that. And I remember it was at the rest stop, we used to get some Roy Rogers. I remember that. You can't even find that fast food restaurant like you used to. They're very rare to find. And Bob's Big Boys. That was another one. That was another fast food joint. But they don't really exist anymore. But anyway, I remember I was at the rest stop, and for the first time, never seen anything like it. I seen Tekken, the first Tekken game, the arcade machine. And my dad said, yo, this is the game. My uncle Nemesis and my dad, they said, yo, this is the game that's coming to PlayStation. Because PlayStation, we already know what titles are coming to PlayStation. Even though PlayStation's not out yet, we know that's going to be an upcoming title. Oh, what's up? What's up, 2 Gold? And so we at the rest stop, and I was really young. I think I'm like 6, 7 probably. And there's the arcade machine right there. And my dad and them hype over Tekken because they played it. They played it in arcades already. It wasn't on PlayStation yet because PlayStation didn't come out yet. So they were saying this is one of the titles that's coming to PlayStation, and I was so impressed with it because I never saw anything like it. Matter of fact, it looked too realistic to me as a kid growing up because it looked so weird. Because I remember when I first walked in and saw the machine, somebody on the machine was playing as Nina and somebody was playing as Jax, and Jax scared me. He was like scary to me because he reminded me of the Terminator. And like I said, 3D fighters was still something that was still a new thing. So the way it looked so uncanny to me, seeing the way Jax move and stuff like that, it looked really spooky how he moved and stuff like that because I never saw anything like it. But it looked dope at the same time. So when I saw it at the arcade machine, I was like, "Yo, I can't wait to play this when it comes to when the PlayStation come out, and when it's released on the PlayStation." So when the PlayStation 1 came out, it wasn't a launch title actually. Like when the PlayStation came out, we had Battle Arena Toshinden. That was a launch title. We had bought that. Extreme Sports, where it was a racing game that you can ride different type of sport vehicles like bikes, the luge, skateboard, rollerblades, and stuff like that. We had that game. We had Jumping Flash. We had in Battle Arena Toshinden, we had and Warhawk. It was the 4 games that we had for the PS1 when it came out. I'm not playing anybody right now, Wild One. I'm just in the lab. Yeah, so what happened was when Tekken first came out on the PlayStation, man, game night. At game night, my uncles, my cousins, and everybody came through, man, and Tekken was like, we turned it on and we seen the first opening cutscene of Tekken. Oh man, like that was revolutionary. We didn't think graphics was going to get any better than this with Tekken. We thought Tekken was it. We thought Tekken, this was the future. Graphics ain't going to never get any better than this. It was so revolutionary, but it was so spooky at the same time because of how the character models look. You know, remember, developers are just now getting into 3D. Just now getting into 3D modeling with especially with the PlayStation. The PlayStation was really enforcing 3D gaming with 3D character models and environments. So at the same time, it was so uncanny. So it looked kind of spooky. I used to be scared of Double Kazuya. I used to have nightmares because it was so weird seeing the character models and how the design of the character was and stuff. But that game, man, that Tekken 1 was so revolutionary. I remember back then when you played Tekken 1, and you said King, yeah, King was spooky too. Yeah, King was spooky, Jax was spooky, and Double Kazuya used to scare me. I used to get nightmares. Cause look at how the CG characters look back in the day. Yeah, Tekken 1 King. He was spooky as hell. I used to be scared of Kazuya, Devil Kazuya. His eye, the way his eyes glue red, and then he used to have that demonic, that voice modulator on the character. They used to make. I used to be scared to go to bed or turn the lights off because I used to thought I used to see Kazuya, Devil Kazuya down the hall. He said, "I just want to say I've been following you for a while. Met a few times at Otakon, but you probably don't remember. Got into Mugen and later Eichmann because of you. Just want to say thanks, bro." Which one? I got pictures of some of you guys. Did we take a selfie together? Because I do have some of our selfies. So, like I took a pictures a lot of you guys. So I may not remember you like it by name, but if I seen your face, I probably know who you are or whatever like that. But I have a couple. If I took any pictures, I'll definitely remember who you are because I still have those pictures. You said the versus screen when you got to it. Yeah. Yo, dog. Double because you used to scare the fuck out of me when I was a kid. Seriously. Like, look at like I said, back then that was new technology. See those CG Tekken models, the CG openings and the endings used to scare the shit out of me. Yeah, Kazuya and Double Kazuya. And he said double and Tekken 2. They used to creep. And they had the wide eyes and shit like that. It looked just so uncanny because we never seen anything like that. Oh, Alpha Ken, yeah, also did Alpha Reed because I remember when it was Guy. I had a picture with Guy, a Sakura. Cause I remember there was a big Street Fighter too. There was a big there was a big Street Fighter cosplays at the time too. At the fountain as well. I remember I was Guy. Then we had there was a Ken, there was a Ryu, a Sakura, and a few others. Yeah, the death stare. Their eyes is really weird, really wide. But yeah, I used to be scared to go to sleep because I used to think Double Kazuya was going to get me when I was a kid. I used to because you remember the endings back then. How the endings used to be so weird in Tekken or any of the Namco fighting games back in the day, where they had this airy look to it. With some of the characters had some like I also it used to freak me out how that used to freak me out with Hayachi because I thought it looked crazy how Hayachi took his son Kazuya and just threw him off the cliff. And then he would smile after doing it. That used to freak me out, like seeing something like that. That used to freak me out. But yeah, I used to be scared. Like if I had to go up and go to the bathroom, go pee, I had to hurry up and turn the hallway light on. I used to run to the bathroom because I thought Double Kazuya was going to get me. That's oh, what's up? What's up, Enrique? Yeah, that used to freak the fuck out of me, yo. That used to freak the hell out of me. And those endings, and then at the end when you fight Double Kazuya at the end of part 2, that used to freak the hell out of me. The stage used to be all the background is just a white floor, and it used to be a dark background. I never checked out Infinite versus Android is fried. Look glossy as hell in the cutscenes. Yeah, it used to scare me. It used to scare the hell out of me. Okay, Wild One. Yeah, it used to scare the hell out of me. And who else? Yeah, and then you fight Double Kazuya at the end of Tekken 2. Yeah, I'm a beginner too. So my uncle introduced me to Tekken Tag 2, and it was fun as fuck. First Tekken I ever played. Never owned a Tekken game. Oh wow, you picked one of the hardest Tekken. You got into one of the hardest Tekkens. But you did play Double Gen. Scared the freak out of me. I couldn't sleep for 2 days. Wow. You play Elisa, Wild One? The subtitle is literally 3D Mugen. Oh wow. Yeah, man. And Tekken was just so revolutionary. And then all of a sudden, that's when Tekken 3 came out. Tekken 3 came out, bro. And that changed everything. Tekken 3, that intro, still the best intro. I got the song. I played the Tekken 3 intro every time. And that intro was the best intro, bro. Tekken 3 had the best intro. Oh. Oh. So you remember chicken? Said chicken. We chicken from what? Android. Yeah, but Tekken 3 was revolutionary, bro. And that Tekken 3 also had weird endings. Tekken 3 also had, and oh no, you know what used to scare me? Soul Blade or Soul Edge. Soul Edge on PlayStation 1. That used to freak the hell out of me. You know what scared me? I couldn't go to bed because Siegfried was my favorite character. And Siegfried, there was a bad ending because you know you can change the ending depending on some endings to some of the characters. If you press a button or something like that, it changes the ending. And Soul Blade scared me was because Siegfried was my favorite character, and when I beat it with Siegfried, right, I never saw this in the video game. He goes to, because you remember Siegfried wanted to take revenge on the murder of his father and stuff like that. When you beat it with Siegfried, right, and Siegfried gets the Soul Edge, right, he grabs Soul Edge and it's quiet. There's no music playing, right? There's no music playing at all. And then all of a sudden, Soul Edge grows teeth and it clamps onto his hands. And then this dramatic music play and he starts screaming. He starts screaming pitifully. This dramatic music come on. And the camera spins around him while he's trying to get Soul Edge off him. Soul Edge won't let him go. Dude, it scared the hell out of me. As a kid, I'm freaking out like, yo, what the hell is going on? And I never saw a game that had a bad ending, a fighting game. Like, I'm like, what's going on? Like, because you're so used to the hero winning. So he's screaming. Siegfried is crying and screaming, trying to get the Soul Edge off of him. And then all of a sudden, it turned him into Nightmare. It turned him into Nightmare. And then he went back to his kingdom. The kingdom he was sworn to protect. He went back and slaughtered everybody. He went back and slaughtered everybody. Dog. I could not go to sleep. I never played arcade mode with Siegfried ever again because I didn't want to see that ending again. That ending gave me nightmares. That was before its time. Like I said, that was like PlayStation was so revolutionary with their games. Like with the games that was really being released on there. That really bothered me. That Siegfried ending. That used to freak me out, yo. That freak, dude. I couldn't go to sleep. I never played arcade mode ever again with Siegfried. I didn't want to play it. Because I didn't want to see that ending again as a kid. Then the other ending, what's his name? Harong on Soul Calibur, on Soul Edge. When you beat it with him, right? He goes back to his hometown, right? And he looks normal. And then that's when a villager or somebody went to go tap his shoulder. He turns around and cut an innocent person with the sword. And then you turn around, he has these demonic eyes and he has these fangs. And then his ending goes off. I'm like, what? I was like, yo, man, that stuff like that on PlayStation 1 games back in the day when I was young used to scare the hell out of me. Used to scare the hell out of me. So the announcer is like, yeah, games had darker tone. Yeah, darker tones back then. They did. The announcer in Tekken 3, Tekken 4's mode said everything dramatically, even when you picked up a health regen items like chicken. Oh yeah, chicken. Yeah. Yo, the PlayStation 1, man. Namco made some good fighters, man. Namco definitely made some good fighters. Tekken really broke boundaries with these 3D fighters, man. I mean, of course, Virtual Fighter kicked it off. Always going to give my props and respect to Virtual Fighter, but Tekken really took things up. Oh, okay, Wild One. But yeah, man. Soul Edge was another good good fighter for the PlayStation 1, man. PlayStation Sony had some great titles, man. Sony had some really good titles, but back then, I think the PS1 and the PS2 was the best of Sony. I think the PS1 and the PS2 was the golden era for Sony. It was the golden era for Sony. PS3 was not. I didn't really like the PS3. Yep, yeah, Harada does show respect to the OG Virtual Fighter. That's why I can't wait to Virtual Fighter make some return. Sega need to bring that back, but the problem is about Virtual Fighter. Virtual Fighter is a very hard game, very hard game. And the barrier to entry is really strict. So a lot of people couldn't get into it. And Virtual Fighter is another legacy fighting game that haven't broke the mainstream. They have to. Virtual Fighter has to be brought to mainstream. But sad to say, in order to bring it to mainstream, you want to have to water it down just a bit or something. And it's going to hurt. It's sad to say. I know Virtual Fighter fans will probably be upset with that. Oh yeah, PS3 did like RPGs. You know why I liked the RPGs? Because PS3 was a hard console to develop for back then, for developers. Because PS3, because they got cocky, Sony got cocky with the PS2. So what they did was PS3, the Blu-ray technology also made it harder for developers. But they had their own custom chipsets in the PS3. Why do you think that Xbox 360 pretty much literally almost dominated that generation, or did dominate that generation, the 360, because a lot of developers jumped ship from the PS3 to Microsoft. Because remember when Devil May Cry? You remember when Devil May Cry was only an exclusive to Sony? But then all of a sudden you got an announcement that Devil May Cry 4 was coming to Xbox 360. Then you got an announcement that Tekken 6, the Tekken franchise, is coming to it's coming to the Xbox 360. All these franchises that normally was only a Sony exclusive, all started jumping ship going over to Xbox. And then we started getting RPGs on the Xbox, like JRPGs. We got Star Ocean. How did 360 get Star Ocean before PS3 did? We got the Tales series, Tales of Vesperia. We started Lost Odyssey, Infinite Undiscovery, Final Fantasy 13. It was hard for developers. He said, when I play Tekken again, I steered into Double Gen and conquered my fear. Actually enjoyed Double Gen. Okay, Shadow. Yeah, agree, Baka. PS1 and PS2 library was definitely unmatched. And you know what the crazy thing is? Some of y'all may think I'm crazy, right? I know a lot of you guys probably only had a PS2. Everybody I know only really had a PS2. I had a lot of games with PS2, but my PS2 library wasn't as big as my GameCube library. My GameCube library was off the chains, y'all. But back to the PS1 and PS2. Best era. If you grew up during the PS1 and then you grew all the way up from the PS1 to the PS2, you had an amazing childhood as a gamer. If you grew up from the PS1 and you made it through all the way through the PS2 up until now, you had an awesome childhood as a child gamer. You had an awesome childhood. There was so many hot titles on the PlayStation 1 and 2. So many, and those games left such an impact on you as a kid, as a young teen. And like it's so many games I can always recall. There's not one game on the PS3 that I can go back and say, yo, I had some fine memories with the PS3. Dude, my PS3 collected dust. The only consoles I played that generation was my 360 and my Wii. You was born in 96? Oh yeah, you young. DX Strike was born in 93. My dad got a PlayStation. He got his PlayStation in 95 when PlayStation was first launched. Then my dad bought me a PlayStation in 96 for Christmas. The best era, man, as a kid. Well, my first console, the first game I ever played was on the NES. But I grew up playing my very first console that my parents got me was the Sega Genesis. And then after Sega Genesis, my parents got me a Super Nintendo and so forth and so on. Damn! 2002? Tay, you make me feel old. You was born in 2002? God damn. God damn. So what? You like 18? You like 18 now? Only thing PS3 had over 360 was free online. The free online wasn't great. The free online wasn't great. It had the worst. They had the worst service, and PS3 always got hacked. With the Xbox 360, since you had to pay for your subscription, we got patches a lot. The 360 got patches a lot faster, and you also didn't have to worry about the hacking a lot and all this, the server shutdowns and all these other crazy stuff. Remember when the PS3 got? You say, "Are you about to go to college?" Okay, good. He said, "I was in the Navy station in Sasebo, Japan, so I had all the games for the PS3 and every Nintendo console." Dope, man, dope. He said, "Which would you say had the better RPGs?" PS1. PS1 had the better RPGs. Hands down. PS1 had the best RPGs. Let's do it. Let's go. Final Fantasy 1. No, I said Final Fantasy 1. Final Fantasy 7. Final Fantasy 8. Final Fantasy 9. Xenogears. Wild Arms. I'm gonna go down the list. Final Fantasy Tactics. What's it? I gotta go to my library. I gotta go to my PS1 because I got so many games for the RPGs for the PS1. Hashigami. Saga Frontier. Come on. I got a bunch of RPGs. The first Grandia. Come on, Brian. You throw them out, man. You got a bunch because you got a whole stack of RPGs. It's been so long on PS1. Oh, Thousand Arms. Front Mission. Breath of Fire. Breath of Fire 3. Yup. Breath of Fire 4. Mega Man Legends. The list goes on and on. Blood Omen. Yes, there you go. Valkyrie Profile, Threads of Fate. What else? Valkyrie Profile, Threads of Fate, Dragon's Valor, which was also another Namco RPG, which they just buried that franchise, that game. They only made one title out of that, which was a good RPG, action RPG. Dragon Valor, look it up. Yeah. Mega Man Legends is an RPG. They advertise it as an RPG. Is an RPG adventure. Yeah, Mega Man Legends. Yep, it's an RPG. Yeah, I already said Legaia, Legend of Dragoon. I already said Xenogears already. I already said that. Tactics Ogre. Sony, the PS1 had all the RPGs. Great RPGs. and still a Parasite Eve. Forgot about that. There were some great RPGs on the PS1. Oh, Alundra 1 and 2, Star Ocean. You had the Dragon Quest series. PS1 had the best RPGs. It outdid the PS2 when it came to RPGs. Now, don't get me wrong, PS2 had some good RPGs, but PS2 was the era where RPGs excuse me. PS2 was the era of RPGs where RPGs started becoming more of a linear experience. Because you remember, look at the PS1 RPGs. Look at how open the PS1 RPGs were. World maps and everything like that. Once you started getting to the PS2, some of these RPGs started becoming more linear. Corridors. Most of them, a lot of them didn't have world maps. Most of them had like a list. That's a world map list where you just pick what location you wanted to go to. A lot of these RPGs started becoming more linear and more closed in and stuff like that. And wasn't as open as how PS1 games were. RPGs were. Star Ocean 2, I said that too, I couldn't get into the Persona games on the PS1. I didn't care for those. I couldn't do it. Yeah. Now the thing is, no, PS2, like I said, don't get me wrong. PS2 has some good RPGs. But they weren't as big and as expansive as the PS1 era of RPGs. Especially like that's what disappointed me with Final Fantasy X. Final Fantasy X, and I couldn't explain it because I didn't even know the word linear. I wasn't using the word linear back then. So when Final Fantasy X came out, I was like, Dad. I was talking to my dad. I said, Dad, and I was like, something. I can't explain it, Father. Like, Final Fantasy X doesn't feel like a Final Fantasy. It is a Final Fantasy game, but it doesn't feel like a traditional Final Fantasy to me. I couldn't put my finger on it. I couldn't explain it. I kept saying to my dad, I said, everything feels so closed in. Things feel so much. It don't feel as. I couldn't explain it to my dad. I said it didn't feel as open. I can't explain it, Dad. But as I got older, and I was like, the word linear came up and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, that's what I was looking for. Final Fantasy, and that's started happening with a lot of RPGs. Then Xenosaga had no world map. Everything was linear. The story took you to the locations, and then after you clear a map, you go through another story sequence, and it was not open. Xenosaga kind of messed it, because you got finished playing Xenogears on PS1. So when you got the Xenosaga, it was nothing like it. It didn't feel as open as how Xenogears was. So a lot of RPGs started becoming more linear, more closed in, not as open as the older RPGs during the PS1 era. What's SMT, Android? Yeah, I know that, Baka, but it just didn't feel. And then the world map was just a list. You just click, and then it take you to the locations and stuff. I don't know. Oh yeah, I forgot. Chrono Cross on PS1. Chrono Cross. You couldn't like, like I said, if you grew up from the PS1 on up, if you grew up from the PS1 and you went and got the PS2, you had an amazing childhood as a gamer. 13, yeah, but 13 is just one massive map, like open world. Like, didn't care for that. No real towns to visit, to explore, NPCs to talk to in 13. They really screwed that up. What's up, Chris? They really screwed that up. Okay. She grew on you a lot? Okay, Shadow. Dope, man. What I think about the Shining Force game, never really played them. The only Shining Force game I played was on Game Boy Advance, and I thought that was pretty cool. It was called was it Shining? It was called Shining Souls. I think it was called Shining Souls. Shining Soul, yeah, on the Game Boy Advance, and that was a multiplayer game. I think usually 3 or 4 players if you had the link cable for the Game Boy Advance, but never played the other Shining games. Sega has some good. Sega has some good role playing games. They really did. Oh man, I'm about to cook dinner pretty soon. Yeah, I'll chat with you guys for a bit. Then I gotta cook dinner and eat, cause I ain't eat all day. I went to the gym and ate and worked out on an empty stomach. So I gotta cook something, and I want to cook dinner in a bit for myself. My daughter, she ate already. Nah. I fixed that. Okay. Yeah, so her inputs are or like Street Fighter based. Yeah, I heard Elisa's moveset is like Street Fighter. I heard. Yeah, so there's a Sega's like Capcom, where they have so many great IPs that they aren't doing anything with. Yeah, that's the thing. Capcom has some great IPs. Sega has some great IPs. Now, and that's the thing. Like, if Sega, I mean, it's too late now. But if Sega, what's up, Boris? I'm doing Tekken all this week. I'm playing again tomorrow. I'm doing Tekken again tomorrow. But I was just in the lab. I wasn't playing online or anything. Yeah, so that's the thing. Sega has some good IPs, and if Sega came back today with a new console, I think they would. I think they would do good, because everybody would like to see Sega make a big return. Yeah. Think about it for a second. Think about the IPs that Sega got to bring everybody on board if they was to come back with another console. I mean, it's business wise, it's not smart, because you know how expensive consoles are to make, billions to make, and right now, like the way the market is, man, it's not just be a third party publisher at this point, and everything's about to be digital anyway. So, and think about it. If Sega came out with a new Dreamcast, like the Dreamcast 2 or something, right? Sega also owns Atlas. So that means out the door, every Persona game will be exclusive. If they came out the Dreamcast 2 today or tomorrow, and if they pitch hey, if they convince third-party developers, right? If they pitch third-party developers that, yo, our console's user-friendly as far as developing games for it, right? And they advertise it to the third party, and they can promise to get these guys, to get third-party publishers on board, because that's what kills a console. If you don't have third-party support, I don't care how awesome. Only Nintendo proved it. Nintendo was hanging on by a thread with their other with the Wii U, and the Wii was just shovelware. It was shovelware. So most people didn't play it, even though it sold a lot. But if a console don't have enough third-party support, your console is dead. I don't care how good your first-party lineup is. If you don't have the third-party support to fill in those gaps while you wait for those first-party titles, you're done. So if Sega was to come back to Dreamcast 2, they would have to convince third-party developers that, one, their console is easy to develop for, and two, they got to promise that they have an awesome online infrastructure, or how they're going to be able to license out, how they're going to distribute their games on their online service. So that's the only way. That's the only way you're able to do it. So can you imagine Dreamcast 2? what kind of lineup they could line up. If they line everything up, let's imagine what their launch would be if they got third-party developers. All right, so they can open up the Dreamcast 2 with a whole new Sonic game, but a Sonic game that they take seriously. We haven't heard Sonic in a while, and they said Sega's been hard at work with whatever they're working on right now with the Sonic. They're working hard at work right now to try to fix Sonic. So not only that, they will have a Sonic title out the door, out the gate, and then Sega's good with their graphics and stuff like that. So they're gonna make this Sonic game as beautiful as possible, and as much eye candy to show off how powerful their system is. So you will have a Sonic game, right? Then you're gonna need some RPGs. You're gonna need some RPGs. So they own Atlas, right? Sega owns Atlas, which means Persona will be only a Sega Dreamcast 2 exclusive. If you want to play a Persona game, you would have to get it either on the PC or the Sega Dreamcast. If Sega had a new system, you would only be able to play Persona on the Sega Dreamcast 2. Okay, Blackheart. So yeah, Yakuza. They have the Yakuza franchise. That means you can only play Yakuza on their system. So if you want to play Yakuza, you have to get a Dreamcast 2. You would have to. If you want to play Persona, you would have to get a Dreamcast 2. So Sonic, you have to whatever new Sonic game that comes out, and they would have to fix Sonic to the point where he's iconic like Mario, but you would have to actually fix him really good. Make his main games good. Push the hell out of it. You gotta give him some more racing games. Give him some sports games. You gotta give him all those type of things. But you gotta market the hell out of it, right? And then let's talk about the fighting games. Sega will always have the best fighting game ports. Sega always dominated because they always had their arcade technology that was always in their consoles. So they would have the superior fighting game ports. Can you imagine if Tekken 8 or Tekken Cross Street Fighter on Dreamcast 2, Street Fighter 6 on Dreamcast 2? They would be the dominant console for fighting games. The Dreamcast 2. If they came up to Dreamcast 2 and it was done right. That's what I'm saying. If it's done right. If they learn from all their mistakes, they could actually come back. And they was the ones that really pioneered the online gaming with the Dreamcast. Yup, Bayonetta. That means Bayonetta, Yakuza, and the Phantasy Stars. The Phantasy Star games would come and return right back to where it belongs. The Dreamcast 2, that's how it would work. The Dreamcast 2 would actually do pretty good if Sega was to come back and do that. If Sega was to come back and do that, they would have Sonic, Bayonetta, Yakuza, Persona. They could bring back the Jet Set Radio franchise. It's great. Fans started bring back the Shining series. Toe Jam and Earl, Alter Beast, Golden Axe, Streets of Rage. Streets of Rage 4 then the next Streets of Rage game would have been exclusive to the Dreamcast 2. If they made Streets of Rage 5. I wouldn't say the first online game ever was on Dreamcast. Because anybody remember X-Play? The X-Band on the Super NES? And the Sega TV? The Sega TV, you was able to play online Sega games. And remember the X-Band? X-Band was a blue cartridge, a broadband cartridge you put on your Super Nintendo. You was able to play Mortal Kombat 2 on your SNES online. So, no, Dreamcast wasn't the first, but it was the first to actually take online gaming to the next level. So, yeah, so Sega can hire other companies to make their IPs too. So they can do Dreamcast 2 would be dope. And all they need is Capcom on board to make some Capcom games. Get all these third party developers. Get some Japanese JRPGs. Get Square Enix to do some games. Yeah, Shinobi. Forgot about Shinobi. Yeah, because I'm about to eat, Derpy. I'm about to go eat. Because I woke up really late. I took a nap and I took a nap at 1:00 and woke up at like 5. Team Ninja on Shinobi, or yeah, Team Ninja on Shinobi would be dope. Monkey Ball, and they have that IP. They can do so much, and then make their own Sega Smash Brothers. Yeah, I'm about to cook dinner. Like I woke up really late, and I'm still sleepy because remember that night we did that stream. I didn't go to bed until 6, and then the night after that I went to bed at 4. So I had to take my ass to bed early tonight because I'm sitting here playing Tekken. I'm actually dozing off, about to fall asleep on the stream. Oh yeah. Yeah, Sega really do know their way around hack and slash, like Guardian Heroes. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Mad World or Anarchy Reigns. Yeah, like I think the Dreamcast 2, if they did a Dreamcast 2, I think they would do good because so many fans want them to come back, want Sega to come back, and so many fans would line up just for the name alone that they're coming back. People is going to be willing to throw money at it. Yup, they can make their own Smash game. That would be dope if they do that, man. But we can only dream. But yeah, the okay, Shadow. Yeah, and you said nothing much playing some King of Fighters 14. Okay, Ryu. Yeah, and another thing too, like going back to Sony. Oh no. Before that, some rumors came out. Listen, guys. Some rumors came out just now, and this guy. No, Sega don't own DOA. No, Tecmo does. That's Team Ninja. A rumor came out, and the guy who put this leak out, he has been correct about the last acquisition. He was correct about. So everybody's starting to believe it. But a rumor just came out. A new rumor just came out saying that Microsoft may be buying Konami and Sega. Now, I always thought that Sega is a perfect match for the Xbox. Because Sega was the only Japanese company that was riding with Microsoft. And he said I was being on Steam. Oh yeah. And also when it came to the Xbox, people said that the Xbox was actually the Dreamcast 2. The Xbox was literally the Dreamcast 2. Every game that was supposed to come out for the Dreamcast ended up going to the Xbox, the original Xbox. And Sega was trying to convince Microsoft to allow the Xbox to be able to play Dreamcast games. They were trying to push for that, but it never went through. And if you look at the original Xbox controller, the Duke controller, it took inspirations from the Dreamcast controller a bit. Well, this is the PC version. This is the PC for the Xbox One, and I can use it for the Xbox Series X. But back then, it used to have the actual memory card slots, like the Dreamcast controllers. I even had it took some similarities with the analog sticks and the color buttons and stuff. But it took inspiration from the Dreamcast, the original Xbox or whatever like that. And Sega was working really hard and extensively with Microsoft because they really wanted to push their games because they knew the Dreamcast was going out. So they was hoping that they can have a chance if they put their games on the Xbox. Oh yeah. So if these rumors happen to be true, that Microsoft gets Sega and Konami, That means Metal Gear Solid and Silent Hill would be exclusive to Microsoft. Sonic would be exclusive, all the IPs. And the thing is, the new plan that Phil Spencer has is these companies that they're acquiring, they're not going to touch them, like meaning that they're not going to interrupt their flow. All they're going to do is just throw money at them. Whatever money they need for these projects, they just throw it at them. Unlike what they did a long time ago with Rare, because they really fucked Rare up. They went in there and just broke it apart and messed Rare up. But this time, what Phil Spencer and them is doing, they're not going to mess and interrupt their flow. They just want to just give them the money they need to continue to make, whatever games they do, titles or new titles and stuff like that. I agree with you, Wild One. I do hate exclusives. I really do. Unless you're a first party. First party, I can't argue first party exclusives. Like from the company themselves, like Nintendo. Nintendo owns, they have a right to make that exclusive. That's their titles. That comes from their studios. They develop those characters and their IPs. So it makes sense to make those exclusives. Just like Microsoft has Master Chief and stuff like that. I don't really expect them to go anywhere else. Same thing with Sony, whatever properties that Sony actually legitimately own themselves. I don't expect them to be anywhere else. Like Kratos from God of War and stuff like that. Like, I don't expect that. Third parties, when it comes to third parties, I don't want third parties to be exclusive. Because that's third parties. They don't have no allegiance. They don't have no loyalty. They shouldn't have any loyalty or allegiance to anything unless money talks. So if the company's giving them money to make them exclusive, then I can see that. That's understandable. But when it comes to third party, I don't think third party stuff should be ever exclusive, in my opinion. But first party stuff, then yeah. Like, if I was a game developer, or I own a console, right? If I own a console and I came out with my Galicia RPG, and I came out with a console, hell yeah, I'm gonna want you to only buy it. I want you to buy my console. Why would I give you, if I got a console, and I have a game that I made for my studio, why the hell would I take my game and put it on my competitors' console? Why would I do that? Not only that I made the game, people has no incentive to buy my console and to play my game that I made on my console. So you're playing my game, and then you're playing on my competitor's console. So I want to keep my ecosystem exclusive. I want to expand my ecosystem. So it makes sense with exclusives, especially if you're first party, He said, yeah, winners don't do drugs. Yeah, back then, when he had like messages like that. Yeah, so, yeah. Why would I do that? It's like, my Galicia RPG just came out, and I got my console. But then your ass be like, yo, I really want a PlayStation 5. And Galicia's coming out for PS5 as well? Oh man, fuck Mugen Lure's console. I would just get Galicia. I would just buy a PS5 and get Galicia. So you bought my competitor console, but bought my game. You didn't buy my console and my game. You just bought my game and bought my competitor's console. Yeah, so I understand first party developers like Nintendo. That makes sense. Why? Like that hurts. That would hurt Nintendo. Putting Mario on PlayStation and putting Mario on Xbox. That would hurt them. Because no one will buy a Nintendo console. Because Nintendo has as far as specs, Nintendo, and they have shitty online service. They have all these type of different things. Why would anybody ever buy a Nintendo console when they can get the most superior console with Nintendo games on that superior console? That's shooting them in the foot. Yeah, Final Fantasy VII Remake needs it. Remember, Final Fantasy VII Remake, their exclusive deal is over next month. So, it can come to Xbox and it can come to PC. So, we have to wait and see. Right now, they can't advertise if it's coming to Xbox or the PCs because they're trying to get everybody to buy the Final Fantasy integrated on PS5. That will fuck them. They will fuck their sales up. Sony ain't stupid. Sony is not stupid. No. Sony and Nintendo didn't polarize Sega. Sega had bad business practices. No, Sega had bad business practices. Alright, let me explain something. Did you know when they announced Sega Genesis, right? Did you know when they announced the Sega Genesis? They already announced all these other hardwares at the same time. So when Sega came out, right? They came out with the Sega CD. The Sega CD had a mixed marketing confusion with the consumers because people was like, "What is the Sega CD? Is it a next gen console? What is it?" Sega was before its time. Sega kept throwing out different technologies, and they was cannibalizing themselves with the Sega Genesis. Because after the Sega Genesis, they came out the Sega CD. Consumers like, okay, what's the Sega CD? And not just that, the Sega CD was expensive. And then they was advertising this as if it was a new console, but it wasn't a new console. It was just an add-on to the Sega. So what happened was, people end up buying the Sega CD. The Sega CD didn't have any mini games or any games at all. So people bought the Sega CD and then had nothing to play on it. The games were shitty. Most of it was like, FMV type games and stuff like that, or however you call those type of games. Then, after that, Nintendo started dominating with the Super Nintendo. They said, yo, let's go to 3D with 3D graphics. Hey guys, the Sega 32X is an add-on to the Sega Genesis and the Sega CD. People say, what the fuck is that? Is that a new console? What is it? And the way they were advertising it, the Sega 32X as if it was a new console. And these pieces, these add-ons were coming out every other year. They were coming out every other year, right? So then they showed off Virtual Fighter for the 32X, and I was a sucker as a kid. I convinced my father and my mother to buy me the 32X because I saw Virtual Fighter and they tricked me with the Knuckles Chaotix. Because Knuckles I'm such a Sonic fan, and when I found Knuckles was having his own game and was introducing new Sonic characters in this new Knuckles game, I was like, Mom, Dad, I want this. They bought me that, and that thing, the 32X was shitty. It was shitty. So what happened was, right after that, Sony announced the PlayStation. No, matter of fact, EA and EA. Before EA became become the EA that we know today, the president of EA left EA, started his own company, and made the 3DO, the 3DO console. So CD-based games started becoming the thing. So now the 3DO is out. Nintendo's getting shook is because like, yo, everybody's moving to CDs. Sony's now getting prepping the PlayStation. So my dad went out and got the 3DO. We got the 3DO, the shittiest console I've ever played. We still have it. So then Sega was like, okay, we gotta compete with Sony. And Nintendo is teasing their next generation console, which is the Nintendo 64. Now check this out. This would screw Sega up. They had bad marketing. It had nothing to do with Sony. It had nothing to do with Nintendo. This is what Sega did. E3 of 1995, or was it 1994? 1994 or 1995 of E3. Sega came out on stage and said, it had these chicks come out on stage. They was dancing and everything, and they revealed the Sega Saturn, right? Guess what happened when they revealed the Sega Saturn? Not only did they reveal the Sega Saturn, they revealed the price of the Sega Saturn, and it released the same day they announced it. And guess what happened? Toys R Us was upset. Toys R Us was pissed. Toys R Us was upset. Electronic Boutique was upset. Game developers knew nothing about the Sega Saturn. They announced the Sega Saturn and released it the same day. The same day they announced it, it was out for release. Which means the Sega Saturn had no games at launch. Because developers had no ideas. There was no developer kits or nothing. That was bad marketing. It was really bad because they tried to hurry up and beat Sony to the punch. So Toys R Us was upset, was saying, "Yo, not only did y'all ship us some consoles, there's no fucking games for it. There's no games. There's no games. There's no games for the Sega Saturn. So when you went to Toys R Us, right, to buy a Sega Saturn, there were no games. No games. So you had like a $200 console, or is it $300? Can't remember at the time. You had a $200 to $300 console with no fucking games. So, yeah, console wars is dumb, but Sega killed themselves. Sega had bad marketing. I blame the CEOs. Peter Moore, I blame his ass because he was also part of the American side of Sega, but he was the face of Sega. Peter Moore, that's his name. Yeah, Peter Moore. He fucked Sega up. He fucked Sega up. So, yeah. So then, right? Guess what? Check this out. Sega Saturn. They announced the Sega Saturn, right? A year later, guess what they did? They announced the Sega Neptune. The Sega Neptune, which never released. They announced the Sega Neptune. And people say, what the fuck is the Sega Neptune? Now, the Sega Neptune, from what they described, it was like an in-between console, I believe. In between the Sega and the Sega Saturn or some shit like that. These dudes are just making, they was just making consoles. They was just throwing darts to the wall, hoping that something eventually would stick. That's what they did. That's what Sega did. Sega fucked themselves over. Sega was just making consoles, spending and wasting millions of dollars on hardware. So the Sega Neptune was announced. So this is what consumers are saying. Why should I invest in a Sega CD if the Sega Third 2X is coming out? Sega Third 2X come out. Why should I get a Sega Third 2X when you just announced the Sega Saturn? I get the Sega Saturn. There's no games, right? Why should I get a Sega Saturn if you announce the next year the Sega Neptune? Why should I get any of these consoles if you got to make the consumer confident that they're going to have these consoles for some time? Why should I invest in any technology? But this doesn't apply for phones because people still buy fucking phones. They'll buy one phone and they announce the next phone the next year, and these motherfuckers will still go out and buy the damn phone. But anyway, besides that point, why? So consumers are saying, why should I spend? Can you convince me? Give me confidence that if I pay over a couple $100 for this console, give me confidence if I buy this console for a couple $100 that I'm able to play this for the next maybe 4 to 5 years, maybe. Give me confidence. But Sega wasn't giving that confidence. These motherfuckers kept throwing out consoles. So, right after that, right? After Sega Neptune's announced, guess what they did? They announced the Sega Dreamcast. They announced the Sega Dreamcast a year after the Neptune. What? Why? So at this time, you had the PlayStation 1 and you had the Nintendo 64 that's out now. Sega Saturn is getting buried, even though Sega Saturn is a good console. They had good fighting games. They had some good RPGs. But what's the point? They have none of the market. Yeah. Sega finally got their act together with the Dreamcast. But the PlayStation the Sony force was too strong. The Sony force was like the Illuminati. They had everything under control. They had everything on lockdown. Sony was the newest name in town. Sony dominated the market. Nintendo lost its throne as the emperor of gaming because of the 64. They got the 64. Nintendo got too arrogant and confident. And when developers say, "Yo, go to CDs. We can't do cartridges because cartridges can't hold video. It can't hold all these files and stuff like that. It's too expensive to develop for the cartridge. Nintendo was that arrogant, and they pretty much gave the keys to Sony. Sony just dominated after that. CDs were cheaper, and was able to hold more memory. Yeah, and Sega Dreamcast, with the Sega Dreamcast, they said, you know what? We hear you guys. We gonna do it right. Because they knew that the Saturn failed. They knew the Saturn failed. They knew that there was nothing they can do with the Saturn. They didn't care how many games they tried to develop at the time. And think about it. Sega Saturn didn't even have a Sonic game. They had this shitty ass Sonic collection of Sega Genesis games, and they had Sonic 3D Blast, which was shitty, which wasn't a genre defining or a generation defining Sonic game. Sega Saturn was the only Sega console that didn't have a Sonic game, a legitimate Sonic game. So they say, okay, we got to fix this. We got to fix this with the Dreamcast. And guess what? Dreamcast still to this day had the best lineup, the best launch that any console still to this day. You can't tell me anything. Dreamcast had the best launch. And and guess what? In my opinion, Sega would still be here with the Dreamcast if they would have released the same year as the PS2. You know why? The PS2 had the shittiest launch. PS2 had the shittiest launch. Dude, I got PS2 on launch. Me and my father got the PS2 at launch. They had no games on the PS2. No games. And developers had a hard time developing for the PS2 at the time. They had anti-alias issues on their games, especially Dead or Alive Hardcore. Dead or Alive Hardcore was the worst looking PS2 game. Yeah. And yeah, cartridge today is, because the technology cartridge is better than CDs today. But back then, it wasn't. So Sega Dreamcast would have dominated the PS2 if they would have came out during the launch of PS2. Because guess what? You know what killed the Dreamcast? The DVD player. The DVD player killed the Dreamcast. The PS2 had a DVD player because DVDs was the newest technology back then, right? And then PS2 was the cheapest DVD player you can get because DVD players was expensive. PS2 was a cheap DVD player. So not only was you able to play games, you were able to watch DVD movies on your PS2. That's what killed the Dreamcast. That's what killed the Dreamcast. It wasn't its launch titles. It wasn't. Now, let's talk about the launch titles that the Dreamcast had. Let's talk about that for a second. Because if Sega would have waited, right? And saw what Sony had with the PS2, they would have put a DVD player in their Dreamcast. So when the PS2 came out, they tried to hurry up and come out with a DVD type of Dreamcast machine, but it was too late. They lost the market to Sony. It was too late already. People were abandoning the Dreamcast after that. It was too late. So if they would have waited an extra year and put a DVD player in the Dreamcast, I swear Sega would still be here right now. I swear Sega would still be here right now. So anyway, let's talk about the launch of the Dreamcast and how if they would have waited and released during the PS2, they would have washed Sony at launch. They would have washed them. All right, let's talk about the launch because guess what? These are titles because my Dreamcast, that was the best Christmas I ever had in 1999. Dreamcast till this day was the best Christmas gift I've ever gotten. The best console gift I ever gotten. Still, PS5 can't compete with it. Xbox Series X can't compete with it. The PS2 can't compete with it. The 64 can't compete with it. The PS1 is second to that. Was the second best experience of the best console gift. That's second. I rank that second, the PS1. Dreamcast is the best. So let's talk about the launch. Let's talk about the launch titles. Let's talk about the launch titles for the Dreamcast. At launch, this is what they had at launch, and they cover almost every genre. You had all your 2K sports. You had NBA 2K, NFL 2K, NHL 2K, and guess what? I'm not a sports guy, but I would sit there and I would be a fucking liar and say that those sports wasn't good. I would be lying to you if y'all said those sports games wasn't good. Because they had that arcade feel to it. Dreamcast had the best sports. So at launch, You had NFL, NHL, and NBA 2K at launch, right? Sonic Adventure 1, Marvel vs. Capcom 1, Soul Calibur 1, Power Stone, Blue Stanger, Ready to Rumble. You had arcade sticks. You had all these different controllers. You had all your racing games. Can't remember. It was 3 racing games that came out too. I'm not a racing guy, but you had 3 racing titles. Then you had Toy Commander. Exactly. Their launch was fucking sick. They had a sick ass launch. Now let's look at the PS2. Let's look at the PS2 launch. Let's look at that for a second. PS2 launch. Time Splitters. Orphan, which is an anime. Is a game based off of an anime. That game was shitty. You had Orphan, Time Splitters, Dynasty Warriors 2, Street Fighter EX Alpha 3, and Dead or Alive 2 Hardcore. And they weren't at launch. They was like months apart, spread it apart. And Unreal Tournament. And guess what? They were the only games. You were stuck with those games for the next 6 to 7 months. Because developers was having development issues with the PS2. So there was a whole drought with the PS2. So I found myself still playing PS1 games on my PS2. I was still playing PS1 games. And Final Fantasy 9 just came out. So I was playing Final Fantasy 9 on my PS2. Because all the other PS2 games weren't that good at all. They weren't that good. The launch PS2 games weren't that good. Dreamcast would have washed the PS2. And guess what? And I said if they waited a year and released during PS2, which means if they waited a year, that'd be more Dreamcast games. Dreamcast would have had more launch titles. They would have had more launch titles. 1 second, guys. You hungry? You hungry? Alright, hold up. I'll get you something to drink. Hold up. Yeah. Yeah, so Sonic Shuffle, Sonic Adventure 1, 2, and Shuffle, Project Justice, Plasma Sword. You had all these. Dreamcast, man, was. Don't get me started, man. You had Capcom vs. SNK 2. You had Street Fighter Third Strike. Dog. Come on, dog. Like the Choo Choo Rocket. That was my game, and I still have all my Dreamcast games. I'm hoping they do a Dreamcast Mini. If they do a Dreamcast Mini, I'm buying it. Oh, really, Shadow? Yeah. Dreamcast was that work, man. Dreamcast was that work. Skies of Arcadia, Grandia 2, Phantasy Star Online. Dude. You couldn't tell me that the Dreamcast wasn't a good console. You could not tell me that. And it really hurt my soul when I found out that they was going to discontinue the Dreamcast because they couldn't compete. Because once Sony announced, I told you, Sony was the Illuminati of the gaming industry. Sony literally said that the next generation don't start until they release their console, and consumers really held true to that. I hear you, Shadow. Yeah, Sony literally said that next generation, they was that arrogant. And they had every right to be arrogant because they dominated. They dethroned Nintendo at that moment. They dethroned them. They dethroned them. They dethroned Nintendo at that moment. They had every right to be arrogant at this point. And they literally said at their E3 when they announced the PS2 that next generation doesn't start until we started. So when they announced the PS2, people seen the PS2 was like, oh shit, like, all right, Sega, it was fun. And then when they showed that you able to play DVDs, it was over. It was over. Sega had no winning chance at all. Sega couldn't do anything. Sega couldn't do anything. They couldn't compete. People just ditched it. Third party developers, they jumped ship. And I gotta give it to Sega. Sega had more first parties than anything. Because anything that was on in Crazy Taxi, anything that was on in the arcade that was made by Sega was being ported to the Dreamcast. And that's why I was excited, because every time I went into the arcade, I saw this dope ass game that was in the arcade. I said, "Yo, I can't wait for it to hit the Dreamcast," because you knew it was coming to Dreamcast. You knew it. You knew it was coming to Dreamcast. So it was just sad to see Sega go, man. Yeah, they couldn't do it. They couldn't continue it, man. They ain't had the money. They didn't have the capital. It was going to make them bankrupt if they continued on. There was nothing they can do. It was too late. Once PS2 came out, Virtual On, yes, definitely Virtual On. I remember that too. It was nothing they can do, man. It was nothing they can do. Dreamcast was an awesome console, man. Shit, man. If they do a Dreamcast Mini, I know it's gonna be hard to find. It's gonna be hard to find if they do release one. It's gonna probably be just like the PS5 and the Xbox Series X. Be two consoles that's hard to find. Yeah, dude, it definitely hurt my soul when I was reading Game Informer and saying, yeah, they're gonna be a third party publisher, and it had Sega, it had Sonic next to the Nintendo logo. I was like, no. And then when I still didn't want to believe it until I walked into an electronic boutique and saw Crazy Taxi on the PS2 box with the PS2 logo next to it. And right there, reality at the sunk in right there. Reality sunk in. It was like, wow, Sega's really gone from the console business. That really got me. Yeah, I know they make it home. Yeah, it's still fans making games for the Dreamcast. Yeah, like I said, I follow that stuff. Like every once in a while, I check up on that community and see if what people are coming up with. People are still like indie companies and stuff are still developing games for the Dreamcast for that diehard community. Oh yeah, man, Crazy Taxi was fun. My dad still loved that game. Crazy Taxi. I love the soundtrack to the first Crazy Taxi. That soundtrack still sticks in my head, and it takes me back to an era. It still takes me back to an era that I was in at the time, and I was in middle school. I was in seventh grade when Dreamcast came out. Quake 3 Arena was fun. I love Quake 3 Arena. Okay, Ryu. Quake 3 Arena was dope, man. And then they tried to advertise that Bleem, which was like an emulator where Bleem allowed you to play PS1 games on your Dreamcast. It was so many different things they tried to do to get you to play the Dreamcast. Get Bleem so you can play your PS1 games on your Dreamcast. Then they created an alternate Dreamcast that had a DVD, but it only came out in Japan. They tried to do everything. It just didn't work. It was too late. Virtua Tennis was dope. Man. I love that console, man. I really did. Yeah. Yup. Yeah. Yup, Chris. Yup. That was exactly it. Yeah, man. Project Justice was the truth on the Dreamcast. You couldn't tell me anything about the Dreamcast, and you couldn't say that the Dreamcast was trash. I will argue you down about that. Yeah. And now it's crazy how everybody reflect on it. Because back then people was shitting on the Dreamcast, especially when the PS2 came out. People was shitting on the Dreamcast. Marvel vs. DC in the works for what? Like comic? Because I know in the comics they were somewhat hinting that there may be a new Marvel vs. DC coming out in the comics. Because I remember the old comics. My dad still has the original Marvel vs. DC comics. But back then people was shitting on the Dreamcast. But ain't it crazy now that the Dreamcast is gone and we hear in today's gaming, and now everybody's reflecting back on it and say, "Oh man, Dreamcast was a good console." Said, "Don't dare get." I love Sonic Shuffle. Sonic Shuffle was the truth. That was my party game. I liked it better than Mario Party. I never had the Sega Smash Packs on the Dreamcast though. Couldn't tell me anything about it, and you couldn't say anything wrong about the Dreamcast to me. Yup, I still got my Marvel vs. Capcom 2 on Dreamcast. Still have it. Sonic Shuffle was the shit. I love their games. Their games were pretty creative too, and I love the fact even when you played the board game had like a story to it, and it had like a turn-based RPG to it, and then even the board games itself had a boss to it. Especially the final boss, you fight the final boss together. Sonic Shuffle soundtrack, that shit was dope. I have the entire soundtrack. I downloaded the entire soundtrack. Sega always had made dope music for their games. Always. And that's the thing now. Like, oh, what's up, Weird? What's going on? I was a big Sonic fan. Like, believe it or not, guys, even though I own a Nintendo console, all the Nintendo consoles, I wasn't really a big Mario fan. If you told me to rank the Nintendo, I call this the Justice League. You know how you had the founding members of the Justice League, which was it Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Flash, and Green Lantern, and maybe Martian Manhunter. Those 6. Well, Nintendo, I call this like the Justice League with Nintendo. You have your Mario, you have your Link from the Legend, Mario, your Legend of Zelda franchise, Metroid, Kirby, and let me see. I guess I would just say those 4. I get. Oh yeah, and your Donkey Kong. I would put Legend of Zelda first, in my opinion. I always pick the Zelda over Mario games. So, I was never really a big Mario fan. Even though I had Nintendo consoles, Mario was always last on my priority. I would enjoy the Metroid games. I would enjoy the Zelda games. Mario was the very last thing that I would enjoy. Until he got into 3D with Mario 64. Sonic Shuffle has the Sonic Advance 1 ports. Yup. So I was always a Sonic fan. I was much of a Sonic fan than I was a Mario fan. Oh yeah. No, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, Chirality, how can I say about Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite? The thing that was shitty about Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite was the visuals and the roster. But as far as the gameplay, it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I love Sonic Shuffle. Sonic Shuffle, that was a fun ass game. And I don't know why Sega didn't haven't remastered it or put it out there for you to buy it, digitally. I would play that game again. Sega be just, they dropping the ball when it comes to this stuff. They can clean up house with a lot of these re-releases. I swear I don't know what they be thinking at times, man. I really don't know what Sega be thinking at times. I really don't. I wanted to play some Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite as well too. I was thinking about that game because the mechanics was fun. I enjoyed the mechanics. I didn't like the visuals. especially that interface. Jesus Christ, that interface was garbage, and the roster selection was garbage. But other than that, as far as the gameplay mechanics, I liked the aspect of the gameplay though. Yeah, that was definitely off topic because Jin and Harang rivalry is the most underrated rivalry. Like I wasn't really, like I said, like I wasn't really that deep into Tekken, so didn't really know much about that. Yep, and no X-Men. Yep, it didn't. MCI didn't. I thought MCI had a push block. I think it did. You told me you block and you press the two buttons and it pushes them back. It did. MCI, I believe it did. I know it. I played it. I think it did. Interesting. Interesting. They should be slapped. That Game Gear Mini look like. I ain't even bother. I ain't even waste my damn time with that. When I seen that, I said, why would you mini a handheld anyway? That makes no fucking sense. That shit looked stupid. That would be nice if it do X-Men versus Street Fighter remaster. I believe something big is coming for the Marvel versus Capcom franchise. I think something big is coming. I think what they're going to do is they're going to take their time with it this time. I really believe that they're going to take their time. They're not going to rush it, and this time they're not going to announce it early, knowing damn well it's nowhere near released. I think they're going to be quiet about it because we still got Street Fighter 6 to worry about. But I think Marvel vs. Capcom ain't going nowhere. I think that franchise definitely will come back, and I believe I think they're going to do it right next time. So I believe the only way we'll know if a new Marvel vs. Capcom is coming out is when we do start seeing re-releases of the Versus games, because that was always a dead giveaway. When the 360 was out, when they released the Marvel vs. Capcom, not Marvel vs. Capcom 3, the Marvel vs. Capcom stick, when they re-released the HD remaster of Marvel vs. Capcom 2 for the Xbox Live Arcade and the PlayStation Network. When they announced that, they also announced the arcade stick, right? And this and I said this. I wish you can, if I can find my old video, I said this when I did the arcade stick review, and I was talking about it in a lot of my other videos back in the day. When I bought the arcade stick, right? I said, dudes, I have a feeling that new Marvel vs. Capcom is coming. Because I said, you know why? Because this arcade stick, the Marvel vs. Capcom arcade stick that I had, it was just called Marvel vs. Capcom, right? But it had the artwork of the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 HD remastered, right? So I'm like, if it's using this artwork, why is it just called Marvel vs. Capcom? Why can't it just call it a Marvel vs. Capcom 2 arcade stick? No, it's just called Marvel vs. Capcom. So I'm like, yo, if they're not going to call this 2, that means this stick is just universal for something. Something is coming. Because the advertisement was just too strong for Marvel vs. Capcom. It was just too strong. So that's what I believe. When you start seeing advertisements for that, come for like remakes or re-releases of the Versus games, that's normally a hint that something is in the pipeline. Like, for instance, this also right here. This has to be approved right here. This has to be approved by Marvel and Capcom for this to even happen. This has to be approved. So, this also lets you know, right? Listen, peep this out. This also lets you know that Capcom and Marvel is still on good terms. Despite the backlash and despite some of the friction that happened during the process of Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, in order for this cabinet to happen, Marvel, you have to go to both Marvel and Capcom. Marvel has to make an approval for this. So, for this to even happen, For this to even happen, for this to even happen, Marvel superheroes versus Street Fighter, X-Men versus Street Fighter, and Marvel versus Capcom. For this to even happen, that should be a hint of something. And Arcade One Up said they still have some other things in the works with both companies. So, right here should give us an indication that that Capcom and Marvel are still on good terms. This should be a hint at something in the future. Not it may not surface right now, but it should that is hinting at something. That's hinting. That's hinting at something, in my opinion. I could be wrong, but that's my opinion about that. Now, check this out. I also truly believe that Capcom and SNK may be doing something later in the future. I truly believe that. Because one, their SNK was advertising the fuck out of SNK versus Capcom Neo Geo, the battle game that you can buy for the Nintendo Switch. Not only was SNK advertising it at one point, Capcom was help promoting that. Like, when there's any crossover game that comes into play, and if it gets re-released, the license already dispersed. So in order for you to make it happen to re-release a crossover game, you have to get permission from both companies. From whatever companies that you do the crossovers with, that did the crossovers. So for the simple fact that Capcom and SNK gave the approval of it, come on, man. Oh, it did? CVS did? And there's a rumor that Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is supposed to be coming to the Switch. Because you remember Capcom was hacked. Remember the hack by these hackers? And those hackers leaked out a lot of this shit that Capcom was planning and everything. And I believe it had Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 for the Switch. So, if that doesn't say anything, then I don't know what does. I don't know what does. I truly don't know what does. If that doesn't hint at anything. He said, "I would eat Lady Gaga's red rag for that box, Lord." Yeah, man. It's pretty good, man. It's a pretty good box. I will tell you this. I will tell you guys this. I don't know why, because Marvel Superheroes has a box too. But their box was a special edition, which came with Sanwa buttons and sticks. Now this is a special edition too, but they decided to give you stock buttons and a stock stick. So the thing is, if you're an arcade purist and a fiend, then when you buy this, you're gonna want to replace these buttons right away. If you're a fiend, these don't bother me much because, like I said, I play this, but I don't play it every day. But I do play it. I go online and play it. I have fun and stuff like that. So if you're a purist and you're a fiend, you're gonna want to replace these buttons right away. You're gonna want to replace these. These suffice. These buttons suffice for what it is, especially if you just a noob or whatever like that. But I will urge you to take these to put Sanwa in here. It's easy to customize because you have to put it together. It comes apart. You have to put it together. So you can just unscrew and just pop it out and then put the buttons in. Oh, you making new movie characters? So you're getting arcade sticks. So yeah. This is if you're a fan of arcades, and I'll turn the sound up too so you can hear it. It has good speakers. It has good speakers, so you can get that authentic arcade feel to it. And it looks nice. It looks nice when it's in the dark. Let me see. And stuff like that. So it gets really loud. And you can turn it down. And it got different colors. LEDs. And stuff like that. Yeah, I love arcade machines. Like, so when I seen this, when they announced this, I was like, yo, I was like, I gotta do it. They just announced Killer Instincts. It comes with Killer Instincts 1, Killer Instincts Gold, and something else. And it's the actual, they modeled it at the original Killer Instincts arcade machine. Then they announced the X-Men arcade machine. Remember the 5 players X-Men arcade machine? They just announced that. Now, Capcom just announced the Capcom Legacy arcade machine. That come out sometime this year. It comes with Street Fighter 2, comes with Darkstalkers, and it comes with Final Fight and a couple other titles. But I was surprised to see Darkstalkers in there. It comes with Darkstalkers. So that looks interesting. But what I'm waiting for, I want a Street Fighter Alpha arcade machine. I'm waiting for Capcom to do. I'm waiting for them to do a Capcom to announce their partnership with Arcade 1UP, and I'm waiting for a Street Fighter Alpha machine. I love Street Fighter Alpha. My favorite 2D Street Fighter game. Yeah, I wish I grew up in the arcades more, because by the time I got old enough to actually stand up and reach the arcade sticks, arcades started dying off in Philly. And everybody started doing a lot of competitive games in the on consoles and stuff like that. So this is why this company is so successful. They're so successful because these guys is able to allow you to bring your arcade fantasy to life. That's what they're trying to do. And they've been successful, because there's been a lot of YouTube content creators that started channels showing their collections of arcade machines now. And then you can mod these. You can mod them, guys. You can mod these. So you don't have to just play these games that's on here. And it's modder friendly. They encourage you to mod, actually. So there's rumors that they're doing Time Crisis and other like House of the Dead and stuff. Oh my god. Oh my god. That'd be crazy. But anyway, guys, I gotta get ready to go. I gotta get ready to go. I gotta make some dinner. I'm hungry and stuff. And everything. So tomorrow some more Tekken 7. I'm play some rank matches and everything. I'll try to start a little bit early. Yeah, I'm gonna try to start a little bit early. So I'm gonna try to hit the bed early and everything too. So I'll be seeing you guys later. And oh yeah, before I leave, you guys, we're gonna have a Mugen After Dark stream. We're gonna have a Mugen After Dark stream. So if you guys have any topics that you want to talk about, go to the community tab. And leave your topics in the tab. I'll make the tab, and you can leave your topics there, and I'll look over them and I'll pick them out. I'll hand pick them. Also, if you're on Discord, leave your topics there as well. Matter of fact, I'll make a Mugen After Dark channel on the Discord. So you'll be able to leave. You only be able to leave topics there. Only topics. So yeah. So once I'll pick out the topics, then I will set a date of when that stream, the Mugen After Dark stream will start, and then we'll go through those questions. So I won't be jumping around all over the place. We'll have a certain order of things, and you'll be able to ask me questions and stuff like that. Yeah. So I'll post that up after I close this stream and everything. Okay. All right. So, Lord, your Discord needs cleaning with a huge amount of. Mugen Lord, your Discord needs cleaning with the huge amount of stuff in it. What's cleaning like? What stuff are you talking about? What stuff are you referring to? And I'll try to get Derpy and everybody and even myself to try to figure out what needs to be cleaned. Well, I got everything in categories too, so. What's up, Knack? I'm about to close the stream. You came all late, bro. I'm about to close the stream tonight. I can't do an all-nighter tonight. I'm sleepy as hell. I gotta eat dinner. Oh, you said the individual servers on topics like matchmaking? What, there's too many of them are radioactive? What, the ones that's not being used or something? Yeah, I'm streaming again tomorrow, Knack. I'm streaming again tomorrow, so don't miss out on it. I'm streaming again tomorrow. Well, yeah, I'll do the matchmaking so it'll be easy because I want the matchmaking for games so it'll be easier so you don't be talking and then you miss people that you're trying to matchmake with and stuff like that. So yeah, I guess me and Derpy and whoever else is the mod, we'll look through it and see what we can clean up and see. I'll start eliminating certain individuals. I may be streaming tomorrow at 3, Knack. 3 all the way up until probably like 8 or something. I'm not sure yet. And it also depends on if my i7 comes in because it's still in transit. Still didn't get to the shop yet. So we got depending on what time they get there, I take the computer to the shop so that can get installed and other things I got to get installed in the computer, upgraded and stuff. So if that comes early, then yeah, I'll stream early. But if the i7 happened to come late, that means I have to take it down there late and then come back late. So, but if so, 3 o'clock I'll start and I'll stream into the evening, so everybody have enough time to come in. All right, guys. So I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow. So I'll post in the community tab to send me some topics for Mugen After Dark, and in Discord I'll make a Discord channel for Mugen After Dark as well. So, all right, I'll be seeing